Hello and welcome to the Daily Forex Report for June 20th. We're looking at the US-Japanese yen pair. This pair created a second inside bar day during this last session. So we've had two bars that were within the previous bar. Now, you can see this one's already broken out. But we are still looking for this pair to potentially go as high as 79.47, possibly as low as 78.51. Look for some resistance around 79.35 and look for some support around 78.60. Now the Euro-USD pair, this pair created an inside bar during today's session, pulled back strong from this strong day to the downside after a gap up. We are looking for it to potentially go as high as 128.06, possibly as low as 125.05. Look for some resistance around 127.50 and look for some support around 125.39. Now the pound US dollar pair, it moved to the upside, broke through previous areas of resistance, still moving up. Look for it to potentially go as high as 158.38, possibly as low as 155.57. Look for some resistance around 157.75 and look for some support around 156.15. Okay, now looking at the US Swiss, this pair closed down during this last session, created an inside bar. Look for it to potentially go as high as 0.9598, possibly as low as 0.9374. Look for some resistance around 0.9550 and look for some support around 0.9415. Okay, now as far as news announcements go, we are going into Wednesday's session. We have at 2 a.m. Eastern the German producer's price for May being released. Of course, that will affect the euro. Previous was 2.4%, and there's a forecast that it will drop down to 2.2%. Then at 4:30 a.m. Eastern, we have the Bank of England releasing their minutes. Of course, the numbers have already been released, so most likely it won't affect the market. They're also releasing their jobless claims, though, change for May. They're showing an increase from a negative 13.7K up to a negative 3.0K. Then at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, we have the Federal Open Market Committee rate decision, the FOMC announcement for the U.S. They're showing that forecast is that they're going to hold rates at 0.25%. Don't see that changing anytime soon. Then a little bit later at 2 a.m. Or 2 p.m. rather Eastern, we have the FOMC releasing their projections for the economy and the Fed funds rate. Now, what's going to happen to the market between now and then? It's going to go pretty quiet, move sideways by and large, and then of course we have that meeting later in the day. And then at 2:15, the U.S. has the Bernanke is speaking. He's holding a press conference, so whatever he says could definitely move the market. Of course, the numbers can move the market as well. Then a little bit later at 6:45 p.m. Eastern, we have the New Zealand gross domestic product for the first quarter being released. And on that, they're showing a slight bump from 0.3% up to 0.4%. Nothing real large there. They're also releasing their year-to-date numbers for the gross domestic product, showing a slight drop from 1.8% down to 1.3%, which could be negative news for New Zealand. The higher that gross domestic product is, the better. Now, what am I looking for during this next session? From a trade perspective, well, we've had kind of 2 days in a row, a decent gap at the open, and then 2 sessions of pretty strong days. And I'm basically, since we've had an inside bar on the Euro USD as well as the Swiss, looking for a breakout of those inside bars to the upside or to the downside. Really doesn't matter to me. We also have the US Japanese yen pair that has created 2 inside bars in a row, definitely consolidating down. We could see a breakout of that. Matter of fact, if we zoom in, we can see that already this pair is heading towards the lower one at around the 78, 76 mark, maybe just a hair higher than that even. Look for it to drop from there. If we get a break of that, we could see it come on down 12 pips, 17 pips. It'd be a quick little scalp. Wouldn't be a whole lot, but nonetheless, you could look for a breakout to the downside. Tagging, if you notice, we've have a low here and a low here, so both sessions found some support there and then pulled higher. If we get through that to the downside, if we have a strong surge today, we could get down to the 78.44 mark. So looking to go short, grabbing about 16 pips or going to break even, and then looking to grab another 33 pips to the downside. Now with the Euro USD, could go either way depending on news announcements. I believe that it's going to kind of move sideways until we do get some news out. If it breaks to the upside, look for it to come on up to the 128.24 mark. If we get news that would surge it to the downside, we could see it come on down to the 124.88 mark. Well, I hope that helps, and until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.